Judgment Day for actress Lori Loughlin and her fashion mogul husband. The couple agreeing to plead guilty in that college admissions cheating scandal. Now they're set to learn their sentencing fate in just a few hours. Deborah Roberts is here with more on this, including, Deb, some new details in this case. Good morning.
Good morning, Cecilia. Yeah, this is the day that Lori Loughlin and her husband fought for about a year to try to avoid. But in just a few hours, like the more than 24 other parents, wealthy parents who are caught up in this scheme, they're going to learn just how long they'll trade their comfortable lifestyle for prison.
17 months after her shell-shocking arrest, Lori Loughlin is about to face prison time. The question is, how long? The actress and husband, fashion designer Mossimo Giannulli, likely to spend months behind bars for their roles in the college admissions scandal. They'll face a judge during a Zoom sentencing just hours from now. This after an about-face in May, when they accepted a plea deal they'd previously rejected. The two accused of paying $500,000 to consultant Rick Singer to get their daughters into USC. One of them, YouTube star Olivia Jade.
Hi guys, welcome back.
In a sentencing memo filed Monday, federal prosecutors accused the couple of allowing their children to become complicit in crime and coaching their daughter Olivia Jade how to conceal the scheme from her high school counselor. Loughlin allegedly calling the counselor a weasel and her husband using an expletive, calling him nosy. Experts say their daughter's alleged involvement could lead to tougher punishment for her parents.
The judges in Operation Varsity Blues have had little patience for parents who involved their children. This has come back to hurt parents again and again when they come in. And that's why one reason why you're seeing these widely varying sentences.
Neither daughter has been charged. Other parents involved in the scandal have already served prison time, including actress Felicity Huffman, who served 11 days after pleading guilty. Loughlin, a first-time offender, is likely to be sentenced to stay in a similar minimum security camp with dormitory housing. Prison consultant Jennifer Myers, who once went to jail herself, now prepares other first-time offenders and says it'll be a hard transition for the star.
Prison is not a comfortable place to be. Prison is barren. She'll be going in and living beside women that she would never and has never been around before, from different backgrounds, women that are unlike her.
Loughlin and her husband pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit mail fraud, among other charges, something similar to another parent who was recently sentenced to 9 months, despite his remorse. So far, no personal words from this couple as they wait to hear what the judge will do. Cecilia?
Yeah, thanks, Deb. We're going to bring all that to Dan Abrams now with more on this. Hey, Dan, good morning to you. Let's start with this, what the prosecutors are recommending right now. 2 months in jail for Loughlin, 5 months for her husband. Based on what you've seen so far in this case, are they likely to get that much time?
Yeah, I expect that they'll get exactly that amount of time. This is a little different than some of the other cases we've seen, where the judge has had a range of possible sentences that could be meted out. So a range of 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months. Here it's pretty definitive in the amount that the prosecutors have agreed to with the defendant. So I think this judge is either going to have to accept this as is or reject it as is. And I think it's likely that the judge will accept it.
And Deb just mentioned this at the end of her piece there, that we didn't see any letters of support filed by the couple or any letters expressing regret. It seems like usually you often see that in cases like this. Does that strike you as odd?
It's a little odd, but I think there are two reasons. First of all, because they are expecting a definitive sentence, that there's not much discretion here for the judge. And secondly, I'll bet that they're worried that any of those letters would be used against them. Meaning, if you go into this assuming those letters aren't going to make a difference, I think they were worried that those letters would be taken out of context. People would use phrases from it and say, Lori Loughlin tries to get out of prison time by sending in letter about what a nice person she is. And so I think that they did a cost-benefit analysis here and determined it's not going to make a difference. The judge is either going to have to accept or reject. And these letters really could almost only hurt us in the court of public opinion.
We know that the prison sentencing was delayed because of COVID. Any sense of what they might be looking at in terms of the conditions once they do go in?
Right. Well, that becomes a Bureau of Prisons issue, as opposed to something that the judge would specifically be able to deal with. And of course, there are still questions about federal prisons around the country as to whether they are letting people out. But I would think in this case, if there was any wiggle room the Bureau of Prisons is going to lean towards making sure they serve time. The last thing that they want to be accused of is giving them some sort of benefit. And I think that they'll certainly err on the side of caution if given a choice, and certainly try and make them serve that time behind bars.
Well, we'll find out in a few hours. Dan Abrams, thank you very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.